Ranking the best Entei fusions. Chinchou starts us off with a cute little underwater doggo. And we follow that up with a couple more water doggos. I think War Turtle actually fuses somewhat well with Entei. But Vaporeon's water doggo is the best. It's got the cutest face and I like the little crown. Mew with Entei is actually a very weird combo. But I actually love the pink and blue and purple here. Makes it a fairy type. Groudon and Entei is even weirder, honestly. But it makes the king of the gerbils. And I love the uniqueness. Magcargo is an underrated fusing Pokemon. And while this isn't my favorite, I still love the Molten Beast look. Generally, Giratina is a heavy hitter. But in this case, I don't think the execution was quite where it needed to be. For this one. Starmie's another one that looks a bit weird. But the unique design for the head is quite intriguing to me. This Espeon one's grown on me a bit. The elongated features work quite well, and I could see this being a psychic beast. The Glaceon one came out a bit derpy, but I think the idea behind the design was pretty great. I like the ice spikes. The Houndoom fusion's about as basic as you can get. But can you really deny that these both work really well together? This one was something I kind of not was really expecting, but the Shaggy Fire Beast actually came out pretty nice. I'm not sure if this Milotic one even really works for me, but it's got a certain charm to it, and the colors make it flow kinda well. Okay, they kinda just slapped these two together, and that's usually a faux pas in my book, but a Dragonoid version of Entei actually kinda works. Torterra's got some of the best fusions in the game, and while this isn't my favorite, the meteor hitting the dinosaurs is great. Evil Sphinx Doggo is not on the list of things I thought I'd see, but this fusion's pretty scary looking. If you want to see a very unique Entei fusion, Hypno's got you covered. This one's just strange and fascinating. Dunsparce has been surprising me lately, and while this one is by no means epic, it's got an unmatched derpy awesomeness. I'm seeing this one as more of a middle evolution, but it looks like a really cool rock dark middle evolution. This one's the opposite. It took a middle evolution and made it into an interesting third evolution. I actually don't like the face on this one, but the colors in the body are really awesome, so it gets a decent ranking. Charizard's a fixture for all three of the beasts, but I think this is the best one. The best dragon-mammal combo of the group. Another one I'm not sure if I really like the head, but the spiky electric body and the smoke are pretty top tier. Umbreon is my second favorite Pokemon in the game, and this is a worthy variation of a Mega Umbreon, I think. Okay, hear me out on this one. It's a bit silly, I know, but grumpy little pink doggo, to me that's just adorable. Entei and Machamp actually seems like a pretty weird combo, but when you get a Majestic Luchador like this, the ultimate Luchador, it's pretty nice. I'm not 100% sold on this variation yet, but the rocky body and the ghostly vapors gives it a really cool, unique vibe. And now we start to get into Majestic vibe territory, as this Sylveon beast is really pretty to look at. Okay, admittedly I rated this pretty low in my Aegislash series, but I think it works a lot better as an Entei fusion, if that makes any sense. Once again, Volcarona is here to deliver a banger. I swear to God, it just always works, every time. The execution is a little bit off on this Haxorus one, but you cannot deny the idea behind this was actually pretty awesome. Blades and fire always go well together. Sandslash here was just way more interesting than I thought it was going to be. It almost looks like some sort of cloud titan. Flareon and Entei always seemed like they'd go well together, but this subtle creation here feels like exactly what a Mega Flareon would have looked like. I've been asking for a good-looking Griffin for a while, and this flaming Griffin is definitely the best I've seen so far. Believe it or not, Sandshrew is better than Sandslash, because it makes a Titanic-looking Sphinx here. Very unique idea. Now Gliscor makes a lot of different Gargoyle fusions, but this one's different than the others. Much more shaggy looking gargoyle. This is the most obvious fusion that Entei could possibly be fused with, but it ended up even more majestic than I was actually anticipating. But if you want something that's a unique level of ferocity that you've never seen before, I present to you this beastie. Now there's a couple different Steel Dragon Pokemon, but this is what I would have imagined a Steel Dragon Pokemon would have looked like if I had to think of one. Magikarp coming back at you with a good fusion. And the best part about this one is the expression and the pose. Everything about this fusion is amazing except for one thing. The head just does not fit the body the way I want it to. Duskull fusions are always great, and this one's no exception. Bit convoluted, but still terrifying looking. While this Celestial Beast isn't quite as amazing as the Suicune one, it still stands on its own as an amazing fusion. Klinklang has made the top 10 for every legendary beast, and to say this is the worst of the three is actually kind of insulting. It's pretty great. There's not a whole lot going on with this sprite, but the mauve color scheme and the design just works perfectly for this fusion. Okay, this is one of those ones where you're just never going to guess the outcome. And what we end up with is the craziest Titan forest that I've ever seen. There's actually some sneaky good Banette fusions, believe it or not. And this one's maybe my favorite of the bunch. The zipper here adds so much character. This is probably Scarecrow's best fusion. This dark beast of an Entei is just so well put together. I could not decide who to rank number one here. This one is the epitome of majesty. Just gorgeous. But I'm gonna rank execution and personal preference as number one. This Mammoth Sabertooth combo is just top tier.